Honestly, there is nothing Black Americans have not seen at this point. There is nothing. And a lot of times I keep asking questions like, what have Black Americans really done to deserve every single treatment coming from every single person? It is not only coming, the bad treatment that Black Americans are receiving is not only coming from the country, it's not only coming from immigrants. Now, shockingly, it's not even only coming from other countries. It is also coming from what Black Americans contribute greatly for the growth. When I saw this news, honestly, I saw this news last week and I was just reluctant to do it, but I said, no, I have to bring it to the tables of Black American. Probably they might have any answers to give me. Why will you open your mouth to say that this payment is going to be made, but excluding Black Americans? Or the only way this payment is going to be made is when Black Americans are not involved. It's quite heartbreaking. It's quite heartbreaking to see that you contribute greatly to the growth of every single thing that is happening, and at the end of the day, they still want to take back every single thing that is supposed to make Black Americans happy. Anyways, watch this video and let me know what you think. Welcome to the channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. And I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking my videos, dropping commentaries, also joining my membership. Super thanks. I'm so grateful. Let's just dive into this video and I'll be back.
So did y'all hear about Google settling that lawsuit with their Latino employees who said that they were discriminating against them by hiring and promoting Anglo and Asian staff over them? Did y'all hear about the terms of their settlement? The reason why they settled for that amount? They settled for that amount as long as they did not include any Black employees with the settlement, in the settlement. I kid you not. And that's one of the another, it's like every day there's a reason, every day there's a purpose of why I literally can't stop doing what I'm doing in regards to trying to get us to collaborate and work together as a community. Because if we don't have each other, we ain't got nobody. And if I went through what I went through, and I'm telling you, it's only the grace of God that I was able to get an education. It's only the grace of God that I was able to get out of domestic violence. It was only the grace of God that I wasn't on crack. Like I had my EMDR therapist sat across from me and asked me, why are you not on crack? It's only by the grace of God that I was able to raise my children. By the grace of God. So can you imagine the things this next generation is going to have to overcome, the things that they're going to have to endure, especially if we are not doing our due diligence and taking on the baton that our ancestors passed to us after they did what they did. We've adopted America's individualism, spirit, and mindset to the point where our community is hurting. Because at the end of the day, it shows with this individualism, spirit, and mindset that we don't even have each other. And our people, our children, our children's children, they need us today. They need us today. The mothers who did not have the covering that I had, they need us today. The children who did not have the covering that I had, they need us today. And the same ones who did not have or were not able to get through and overcome what it is that you've experienced in life, they need us today. If they're going to have a fighting chance in this country, they need us today.
Y'all almost broke my ankle running over here to come snitch on Google. Did y'all know that Google just paid out a settlement for unfair wages and unfair pay and advancement, career advancement? The settlement, they were sued by someone who was of Latino descent, Mexican, Indigenous, Native American, Pacific Islander. But the settlement payout was contingent upon Black people not being included in the settlement. So Google just paid out for DEI, for like a DEI settlement, and basically said, we'll pay as long as this settlement excludes Black people. We'll pay everybody else except the Black ones. I swear to God. I swear to God. Let me show you. You can see Google has agreed to pay Latino employees a $20 million settlement which by the way, 20 million spread across all Latino employees that they have. They have hundreds of thousands of employees, whether they work at home or work in the office. But okay, 20 million. I ain't knocking no extra coin for nobody. Okay, but I feel like they definitely shortchanged y'all. Okay, and they have a way of doing that by ensuring that they exclude the people that's going to speak up for the collective, because 20 million definitely ain't enough. But a 20 million settlement, as long as they did not allow Black employees to be included, says the judge over the class action lawsuit. Now, here's the crazy part. The initial lawsuit that was submitted, right, was by a woman of Mexican descent, and she was submitting this lawsuit including people of color that are Black, brown, whether you are Pacific Islander, darker tones, Pacific Islander, Latino, Native American, and Black people, right? So people of color, okay? People on the other side of the brown paper bag test. They said, we will pay you as long as you leave them niggas out of there. Not the niggas. So as you here you are. So the agreement with Google, a unit of Alphabet, which is the parent company or headquarters, won the preliminary approval last week from Judge Charles Adams of Santa Clara County Superior Court in California. He called the settlement fair, reasonable, and a good result for the class of at least 6,632 people employed by Google in California between February 15th, 2018 and December 31st, 2024. Google spokesperson Courtney Messini confirmed the settlement Tuesday, but said, we continue to disagree with the allegations that we treated anyone differently, which there's been a long-standing battle with Black people speaking about their experiences and how they're being treated by leadership in Google. And it's not just Black people, it's literally people of all races that are speaking about the discriminatory practices that Google exercises well within the framework of their leadership and the hierarchy inside. And how, while the money is good, you gonna pay for it in your soul. Okay, you gonna pay for it. You gonna suffer, is what they're saying. The allegations that we treat anyone differently, they're trying to beat those, and they're denying them, and remain committed to paying, hiring, and leveling all employees fairly. But baby, you've had numerous lawsuits about how unfairly y'all treat your workers, and you wouldn't have settled if you genuinely believed in your heart that you have non-discriminatory practices that of which is written out in your handbook. But just because it's written down in black and white and got your John Hancock on it, that don't mean that you actually walking in that, right? So the lawsuit was led by Anna Cantu, who identifies as Mexican and racially indigenous on behalf of Hispanic, Latinx, Indigenous, Native American, American Indian, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander, Alaskan Native employees at Google. This previously also included the lawsuit also included Black people, basically. And they said the only way that this gonna go through is if you drop the niggas. And they just settled out. Judge Adams said that the settlement came after Cantu's lawyers agreed this month to exclude Black employees. They just agreed this month, okay? This settlement started, the action started back in 2021. It's 2025 going into 2026. They're just now this month agreeing to drop the Black people out, which means that they were literally fighting her tooth and nail. Remember, it says that Google asked for them to leave the Black people out of it from the start. From the start of this entire process years ago. They just now agreed to drop the Black people off of it. Which means that her lawyers, Anna Cantu and her lawyers, they was like, no, one for all for one. So I don't want y'all coming at Anna and her lawyers type crazy. They held on to the last possible second, okay? Don't come at them type crazy. If you really read this, it's not saying it directly, but you can tell they just got approved. So that means this last month was when they finally agreed to do it, which means more than likely after all these years, Google was putting pressure on them so that they wouldn't have to either A, pay out the settlement at all, or B, they could, continue to tie them up in the litigation and stress them out until they just dropped the case. So they had no other choice at this point in time. They kind of had no other choice but to, and I'm not completely mad at that. It's a sucky situation and position being all the way around. However, it's still shitty. It's so shitty all the way around. It's just a real shitty situation. So the net settlement proceeds is $20.4 million. That's before the lawyers get paid and all the other fees get paid. After deducting the $7 million for legal fees and penalties tied. So you're going to do 20 minus 7, that's 13.4-ish million. Somewhere between 12 and 13 mil, split between 6,632 people. And then you subtract the taxes from that. It's almost like you shooting yourself in the foot for even so much as, you know what I mean, wanting to be equal or having to go against having black people included. Because had those black people been included, baby, the piece would have been bigger. I promise you, the piece would have been bigger, which is why they convinced y'all to go against your own best interests. That's why they was begging y'all to not add black people in there. Because once you added the black people in there, we would have forced them to give a much bigger piece. What you really deserve for being excluded. Now, the reason why the lawsuit exists is because Anna noticed that despite her long work, her exemplary work, consistently getting, gold stars, 5 stars, yada, 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 she was being consistently passed up for promotions and acceleration within the company and bonuses and raises next to her Caucasian and Asian counterparts. And she's looking around and realizing that she has not only seniority, she's tenured in, but she has, a clean record, 5s across the board, you know what I'm saying, exemplary work, and she done given like everything within her, but she's getting passed up for promotions, bonuses, and raises that rightfully already she deserved. They coming up with excuses as to why they can't give her a bonus or a raise. So long story short, Google been trifling. They gonna always be trifling. They gave y'all pennies. I feel like the amount that you got in the settlement is nowhere near the amount that they owed you and y'all deserved. Know that it's always gonna be the devil. The devil does not have to hurt you or do any kind of tricks towards you or do anything by his own hand. The devil's number one trick is to convince you and trick you about your own shit. Y'all rightfully deserve, because God only knows how long. That's from 2018 to 2024. So that's 4 plus 2. That's 6 whole years worth of money that you should have been getting. I guarantee you that 13 million split between 6,000. Hold on. That's less than $2,000 per person. And that's before taxes. Let's see how much it is after taxes. That roughly brings you to a total of $1,567.68. $1,567.68 per person for 6 years of being passed up on thousands of dollars for a promotion. Now, when you look into the position you really should have been given, and you calculate the difference between the salary you have now and the salary you should have been getting, and you factor in the bonuses and the raises, the 10 to 20% raises, 25%, I believe 25 to 50% in California, that comes to anywhere between 20 to 30K that you're missing out on. Not just you, but all 6,630 something odd people. Not everybody would have gotten it, but if you break that down to, let's say, less than 10% of y'all, that's roughly about 600 of y'all that is thousands, tens of thousands short. The devil's number one job is to trick you out your spot and to get you to settle for less than what you deserve. My God, on today, Lord Jesus.
This lawsuit against Google opened up a can of worms. Google just exposing all kinds of flaws in this system against Black Americans. So this Latina filed a class law action suit against Google. And she was like, I want to include Black Americans also, because they face the same discrimination as the Latinos and the indigenous people that was working at Google during the time, right? So on her classification, she marked indigenous as race, like racially she's indigenous, and then as her ethnic group, she marked Mexican. Google was like, hold up, you're going to need to exclude Black Americans from that lawsuit because they don't meet the classifications. Black Americans are only a race. They're not recognized as an ethnic group. And plus, you can't represent them. If not, we're just going to dismiss this. And the judge agreed to it. That was over the case. So this just brings me back to the disadvantages of just being classified as a race. Legally, Black Americans are only recognized as a race and not an ethnic group. So what does that mean? That means that you're one-dimensional. Whereas somebody could mark Black for certain programs as race, and then they could also mark their ethnicity for other programs. So for example, if they say, hey, we got this scholarship for Black people, a Nigerian can sign up for that program. But then they can have specific programs specifically for Nigerians. They could also sign up for that program too. Whereas you as a Black American, you could only sign up for what's ever for the racial box. And have y'all noticed when there's lawsuits, when Black Americans do lawsuits, it's only race, right? If it's something discriminatory against your race, you only could put race, you can't put ethnicity, because Black Americans are only recognized in this country as a race, which put us as at a disadvantage. Very one-dimensional. Meaning, like, when they do these studies, they're not just studying specifically the impacts of what happened towards Black Americans, but all Black people. So, yeah, somebody need to get the U.S. Census and the EEOC to recognize Black Americans as an ethnic group. Because if not, going to remain one-dimensional.
Yo, this is crazy, man. I'm glad they exposed this, man. Even though it still might go down, but at least they can see, nigga. It ain't us. They be sending other people after us like some rabid dogs. It'd be crazy. Because we just don't got the heart to be doing that to people, man. Some of us do, but a majority of Black people don't. That's why people do shit to Black people a lot of times, and they would rather do shit to us than anybody else, because 9 times out of 10, it ain't no major consequence. Like, you know what I mean? We might come through and whoop your ass, but we ain't gonna come after you with no machetes or nothing and chop you up in a bodega like some other people. Or we ain't gonna go and poison your whole family and shit like that. You know what I mean? It just ain't no major consequences. We'll whoop your ass and then call it a day.
Let me duck real quick. Say Google has agreed to pay Latino employees a $20 million settlement as long as they did not allow Black employees to be included, says the judge over the class action lawsuit. This is a chess move. This is divide and conquer. I'm just saying like this. It's divide and conquer. Why? Because the Latino and Black people, it's the same people. It's either you gonna sell out your brothers and your sisters or you're not. If you gonna take the money or if you gonna stay united with the people. They showing you they don't fuck with you. They don't. My people, Black and Latinos, same motherfuckers, right? No, the world don't fuck with us, dog. It's just time to rebel. It's just time to say fuck them too. Like, can we say fuck them too? Like, that's all I'm waiting on. Like, I'm ready when y'all. Like, I'm gonna tell y'all every day. We gotta unite and say fuck the world, man. Like, how long is y'all gonna take the disrespect? Like, feel me? I'm on divine time. You see that 777 on the repost? You know what I'm saying? I'm divinely guided. I'm on motherfucking time, feel me? But I need y'all to be on time. Can we say fuck the world? And you know, it's gonna get worse from here. I'm telling you right now, if you don't get up and say fuck the world, it's gonna get worse from here. You know this. You see it's gradually getting worse. It's not getting better unless we gonna do something. Okay? So, you know what I'm saying? Google don't fuck with you. The government don't fuck with you. Your job don't fuck with you. The whole world don't fuck with you. It don't fuck with us. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta fuck with each other. We can't stop trying to cater to a world that don't fuck with you. That's the problem. The problem is we're trying to cater to a world that don't fuck with us. That's where we fucking ourselves up. Oh, and it's only gonna get worse because we stay catering to the problem. We catering to the problem, making the problem go longer than we need to. We end this right now. We end this less than a week. You can leave. Everybody can leave their job, especially us. Especially, come on. You, the battery, the main reason this thing is operating. If you take out the battery, if you remove yourself, if we remove ourselves, this will fall. They can't stand on their own. They need you. Just like I need you to lead the job. You know what I'm saying? Feel me?
Anyways, welcome back, guys, and I hope you guys have seen that particular video. You've seen every other thing that every other people as well have to say, and this is what I have to say. Black Americans use Google every single time. Black Americans use Google in doing a lot of things. In fact, a lot of things that people do right now is through the help or through the use of Google, right? And of which it simply means Black Americans are contributing greatly to every single achievement Google is able to achieve in one way or the other. But the shocking thing is, every single thing, like I said from the first part of this video, that will profit Black Americans, they will love to strip it away. And I really do not know why. Because let it make sense to me that Latinos are actually suing Google, and the only response to that, or the only solution for them to get over $20 million or $20 million is if, only if, Black Americans employees are not included. They're not included. The world is so obsessed with Black people. The world is so angry. The world is so, and sometimes I ask myself, like, why? Why? Why are they so obsessed with Black people? Why? What has Black American really done to deserve all of this? That it will get to the point that not only the suffering they've been through in America, not only the suffering they are receiving from immigrants, not only the pains, but Google too. And that is why I keep saying it. The pains that Black Americans have gone through, if a lot of people, a lot of folks have to go through that pain, I don't think they are going to survive it. I don't think so. I don't think they are going to survive it. They are not. Black Americans have gone through so much pains that at the end of the day, when you see what is happening in the society, you ask yourself as a Black American person, like, why am I even born into this particular society? Why did I even come to this place? Why was my forefathers even have to go through all of this? For we to still be suffering, for we to still be going through what we are still going through. It has never changed. It has never changed. It's quite sad. It's sad to see that as a Black person myself. Because I feel like if there is anything compensation, if there is anything compensation at all, they should not even exclude the Black employees. What have the Black employees done? What are these Latinos doing that the Black employees have not done? And of which I believe that Black American employees would have even done better, higher. But when it's time for them to get something small, they were not the one that sued. That is the annoying part. They were not the one that sued, right? The people that sue Google were different. But Google still made it a law that if only Black Americans are not included, because they are scared of the glory that will come after that. Because they are literally scared that anything that will take Black Americans higher, they don't want it. They don't want it. Subscribe, like, comment, and share, and let me know what you think about this video. Credit belongs to the original creator of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. And I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking my videos, dropping commentary, sharing, and also subscribing. I do not take you guys for granted. You guys are absolutely the best. And thank you so much for staying stick and hook with me to the end of this video. And guys, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be saying bye, and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you guys. Mwah. But Black Americans, just let me know what you think.